Hey, good morning, family. I'm out taking that walk again this morning, so that thing I like to do. But starting to get hot in Texas, so we are starting to get close to the 100-degree days. So we got probably another couple of weeks. Then when it hits July, we on the hotter summers, it is 100 degrees every single day, and never gets below 80 degrees. So they have to usher in a heat warning when that happens, but that happens pretty often here. But anyway, so today I wanted to talk about the idea of our belief systems, and to think about it in another way. And that's one of the things I like to do here at KCL, is really give you a way to see things differently. And a lot of times I use religion and Christianity, which was my childhood religion. That's why I talk about that pretty much exclusively, because that's what I have experienced for most of my life, and being immersed in really a Christian society here in the United States. But the idea of how our beliefs really impact how we see the world, because if you really look at it from the ancient perspective, they had the saying, and maybe you've heard it, philosophically, that the universe is an illusion, okay, and that the world that we live in is an illusion. And a lot of people take that or find that hard to reconcile, because in their mind, everything that we're experiencing is real, which absolutely is true, So everything that we experience is real. But when you look at the ancient, I'm going to take a little seat here just to talk about this. But when you look at the ancient idea behind this, they're not saying that what we experience is not real. What they're saying is that the illusion is that we have no power over this experience, or we have no power over this world. And the philosophical idea is about the idea of mentalism, okay? And mentalism is saying that, in a sense, that God created from its mind, okay? And using that as an analogy, because God is not a freaking human being. But we have to, in order for us to understand the idea, the ancients use our human bodies and our human experience as analogies, okay? And this is what they called anthropomorphic, okay? Using us, animals and stuff like that, to express larger metaphysical ideas that might not can be expressed verbally, okay, or in words. All right. So so the idea is that there is only one source of creation, okay? And if there's only one source of creation, then it cannot split itself to create, okay? So this is how the ancients postulated these ideas, or how they thought about it, okay? And thought about the idea of God as a creator, okay? If there's only one source, and then God split itself and became two, then all of a sudden you have two different gods that will be competing to create, okay? But their idea is that can't be, okay? That there's only one source of all creation. So if it can't split itself, okay, physically, okay, or split itself into two different beings, then the only thing left is that it had to mentally create from a mental space. Hey family, just wanted to quickly just add to one of the reasons that the Kemetic philosophical system is a true monotheistic system, is because of the idea of mentalism. Okay, so Christianity actually diverged from that. So when through the Greeks, they diverged from the idea of really a monotheistic system, because obviously there has to be, for them, there was a different creator that created the earth, because the earth obviously for them is evil. Okay, so that's what the Christians came to believe and accept, is that idea. So the true monotheistic belief system or philosophical system is that we're all one. Okay, and that for most spiritual systems, and Christianity is not a spiritual system; it is a religion. That's different. But for most spiritual systems, the idea of there being only one source and only one universe is pretty much universal among them. Okay, but the Abrahamic religions are a little bit different than that. Okay, all right, family. Meaning, like our imagination, we can create things in our imagination. So everything that is the universe from that one single source had to be created from within that source and from within the mind of that source. Okay, so that's the idea of mentalism. All right. So when we're talking about our belief system, okay, as far as it being, or the illusion, let me go back to the illusion. When we're talking about the idea of the illusion, if everything is from a mental perspective, because we are the likeness of the creator. Okay, and this is what the ancients were saying. Even in the Bible, we are the image of God. Okay, and image means we are the likeness of it, or we have the ability as God. Now I know Christians want to like argue that and stuff like that, because they have to believe in this idea that we're somehow faulty. Okay, we're born sinners and wicked. God ain't wicked, so there's no way we can be like God, because we have to be different. But that is a belief system or a belief that's been created that we actually view the world from. Okay, and a lot of people assume that view of the world. Okay, that we are something negative, and that we're something different from the Creator, from the source. But the ancients would say that we are the source, or if the source, using an analogy, if the source is like an ocean, then we have to be drops in the ocean. Okay? That means we cannot be different from the ocean, or we wouldn't be the ocean, or the ocean wouldn't be itself. So we are the drop, we are a drop in the ocean, but the ocean is also within the drop. Okay? So it's two things. Okay? So we are, it's the paradox. We are it and it is us. All right? So the illusion of not having power is what we've been taught. We've been taught a belief system to look at the world a certain way, and let's take the belief system about man being born wicked, the fall of man, and and mankind being born wicked. Okay, or humankind being born wicked. That is a frame that we've been given. We can't even, most of us, that even if we're not Christian, most of us think in terms of mankind is wicked and that humanity is bad. Okay, some humanity is just naturally not good. The people of humanity, if left to their own vices, the worst of humanity is what's going to come from humanity. Okay, and that again is from a frame of reference. So we've been given a belief that we have framed everything in. And this is where the idea of the illusion comes. Okay, you begin to see that belief system as reality. Okay, But what the ancients want you to understand is that your beliefs are something about reality. It's your belief about reality that ends up creating it. Okay, those are two different ways to think. I know it seems real subtle. So when you have a rigid belief system, evil becomes an aspect of reality rather than a belief about reality. When it comes an aspect of reality, that's when you become powerless. Okay, so that's what you want to understand, is when what you believe simply becomes an aspect of reality, or you're not even aware that it is a belief, because to you it is an aspect of reality. Then you lose power over the illusion. All right, that's another way to look at it. But when you are taught rules, like Christianity says, follow these rules, okay? It frames your reality. It frames your belief. It frames the whole way you think, okay? And that rule becomes something that is rigid for you. You can't even be flexible. And and Christians a lot of times, and that they're not very flexible about their world. When things start, this is why so many times the evangelicals and stuff like that are called the conservatives, because they're inflexible. They don't want change, because change becomes a threat to them. Okay? If you believe the illusion, okay, that you believe that the reality is that mankind or humankind is wicked, everything that you think about is going to be couched in that idea that something is wrong with mankind, and that we're just going to do bad things. And let's take in case in point. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about the new AI and stuff that's being created. And we have a lot of people have this doomsday mentality that the AI at some point is going to become sentient and then want to wipe out humanity. Okay? That it's going to become all knowledgeable and more powerful in knowledge than humanity, and essentially end up wiping it out. Now, my question to you is why is the assumption that if something becomes conscious, that it's going to end up being evil? Okay? That if AI becomes conscious, that is automatically going to be evil and want to take over the world and wipe out mankind for whatever reason. Okay? And I'll say that it's because, again, of a belief, of a frame that we have been given that we don't even analyze and look at. So in order to really start to become more conscious, you need to start to examine what you believe and why you believe it. All right? And at that point, you become, or you rise to what's called a metacognitive state. You have the ability to think about what you're thinking, and you have the ability to think about why you think it. Okay? So if we've been given the frame and the assumption that all is evil, everything that we can consider, that becomes our reality. Not a belief about reality, because what I just did was analyze it as a belief about reality when I started to look at AI as if it becomes conscious, why couldn't it be benevolent? Okay? So for me, I've gained the ability, and for us that are growing consciously, we've gained the ability to examine our beliefs. Within Christianity, you're not given that opportunity to do that. You're told what to believe and how to think about the world. And even if you start to consider something outside of what you've been told to believe, that's a negative. You become faithless, or your faith is in peril, which puts your soul in peril. All right? You have to have a rigidity of belief in order to stay Christian. All right. So the illusion, and I'm going to wrap this up and say the ancients are not saying that our experience is not real, because that it is absolutely real. But our five senses create this reality. Our five senses create this earth. You are essentially a universe. It is your universe, your belief systems that you live within. But you have the ability to create anything you want simply by changing your belief systems and how you look at beliefs, how you look at your world. The illusion is that you have no power over your reality. That's the illusion. Not that it's not real, not that you never experience it. The illusion is that you have no power over your universe. All right? Change your ideas about your belief systems and gain the ability to analyze what you believe and why you believe, and it will change your freaking life. Okay, that's what I'm helping do with the African Mind Rewire course and the KCL knowledge stack that I do, which the YouTube is definitely a part of that. But it's helping you to rewire your mind and to think about things in an elevated and more conscious level, where you can be flexible, where you're not rigid, and you can create a life in a different way. Okay, all right, family. Y'all have an amazing day, and I'm going to continue on my walk, and I will see y'all another time, okay? All right, bye-bye.